Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So in this video, we're going to still delve into some of the brand new things released with the Haven Hive expansion. So we're going to be looking at one of the more lower level hunter methods in the game, which actually has a summoning familiar link to it. Now this is something I forgot actually existed, but it seems that this summoning familiar is actually quite useful as well. So this is going to be something where we're going to delve into the hunter method, look at the summoning side, and then give it a little bit of a try out, trying to use this summoning familiar. So for this video, we're going to be looking at jackalopes. Now jackalopes are level 32 to hunt, and we also have a corresponding jackalope summoning familiar at level 30 summoning as well. So very low in terms of requirements, but it does seem to have a few nice little niche uses as well. And I'm pretty sure that because it's a brand new familiar, brand new hunting thing as well, which probably won't be done by a lot of people, I imagine there's going to be some decent profits to be made. So we're going to go all the way through the process of hunting, turning the hunted item into the familiar, then checking prices, and then we'll also go and try it out in Archaeology as well, because that's where its purpose is. It is used in sifting soil or can sift soil as well. Now, originally, I thought this was going to benefit you with actually doing the sift soil spell. Turns out it's not. It's something where it can actually sift soil while you're doing Archaeology. You kind of use it as a beast of burden. So you can put up to 30 pieces of soil into the antelope, and then while you're still doing stuff, it's going to sift the soil, and at 33% chance of turning that soil into material, which, if you're not going to be doing it while you're sort of like doing Archaeology, it is a really good sort of thing to do. And it's a familiar which is quite useful really, because it will bridge that gap up until you get the auto screener. As soon as you get the auto screener, the familiar is quite redundant, then you don't really need it, because the auto screener would work as if you're going to screen it anyway. So in terms of items needed, you're going to need some rabbit snares, you're going to need a teasing stick. Now, if you have a ferret available, which randomly, I'm just going to check my bank because I might, no I don't. So you can use either a ferret or a teasing stick. A teasing stick is a lot easier because you can just buy it from the hunter NPC on the way to the spot, but a ferret also works as well. Now what the teasing stick and the ferret does, basically flushes the jackalope out of a burrow, and then it runs into the rabbit snare. So that's why we're going to need some rabbit snares as well. Now if we go to the teleport lodestone at Haven Hive, and if you haven't unlocked this and you haven't done the first quest, that will be in the corner of the video and also in the description as well. I've put in as many of the Haven Hive videos as I've done so far. But we're probably going to have a decent week of making some really good content on the Haven Hive stuff. Some stuff is hit, some stuff is missed, but I think if we can go and explore and see all the different kind of things in Haven Hive, you guys can see what you can do as well. Now, when we go to this house, the groundskeeper actually sells some pretty useful items for this. So you can buy the rabbit snares, the teasing sticks. He also sells 4 clockworks as well. So one of those little ones, wherever you're walking by, you can pick up a couple of clockworks for a really cheap price. Obviously as well, with it being a shop, it will also restock up as well. So in terms of where we're going for the spot, the hunter spot is just going to be here, just southwest of the shrine of Inanama, where we're going to actually go make the pouches afterwards as well. Now, rabbit snare hunting is a little bit more interactive than your conventional hunting methods. Because of this though, this is what can make it a little bit unique and also make jackalopes or rabbits as well really decent price. Now, this is the same way you would hunt white rabbits and to go and get the rabbit foot. That is a herbal secondary for like divination potions, I think. And it can be really nice in terms of XP, and also the GP is exceptionally good just because not many people do it. Now, what we want to be doing is just setting up the rabbit traps or rabbit snares in front of all of these burrows. You can only do 5, and then we're going to go and tack the spare burrow as well to then put the jackalope into one of the snares. Now, I don't know when they did this, but having like all the traps stackable for Hunter is such a nice update and an upgrade as well. Just means you're not juggling things, and just means that you're not having to like work your invo around as well. Now, we have all of our rabbit traps in front of the burrows. So the spare one we've got now, we're just going to go and flush. And basically what this does is make the jackalope have to run around, and then as you can see here, walks into the rabbit snare so we can then go and loot him. So we go and loot that, and we're going to get some antlers and some rabbit meat. So the antlers is going to be the summoning secondary. The rabbit meat, if you want to, you can drop it. Again, it's got really, really cheap lately, so I don't know if it's too much worth having a hold of that as well. And that is pretty much what you literally do. Now, some of these traps will sort of fall down. For me, every sort of 2 traps I do, I go and reset, because you don't want them to sort of fall down while you're trying to hunt. Sometimes as well, bringing a massive stack of rabbit snares just means that the one you loot from, you can then just reset a trap up, and then you can move from there. So again, it's different ways on when you to do it. I've only got 5, so I'm just going to kind of reset what we've got. And that is basically the emphasis of this as well. The level 32 hunter though, to go and loot one of these snares, you're going to get an XP drop of 213, which I actually think is quite a good sort of XP for catching one of these rabbits. So I'm just going to go and do a couple more just so we've got a couple of pouches to work with when we decide to go and have a bit of a play, because I want to go make the pouches, I want to go make the scrolls, and I want to compare to see which is the best way to make some profit with this, because this is going to be an item which is so limited in how many is in the game. Because let's be fair, who would have done this so far? Not many people. I imagine we can manipulate the price a little bit in terms of what we can sell the pouch for, the scrolls for, and then we can go and test out how useful it is for some archaeology. But this is pretty much the method. Again, really nice, and for a lower level like sort of method, it can be decent. Now, if you're going to do something where you have burrows not caught, it just means that the jackalope's going to run around. So you can have it so where you've only got 2 or 3 traps out. It just means you've got to kind of like direct it and push the antelope to where you want it to go anyway. Right, so we're going to stop there. We have 6 of the jackalope antlers, which is more than good enough to go and do it. Now, for a familiar, this is actually going to use gold charms, which is really nice because obviously with gold charms, like, there's something everyone's got hold of. You don't really use gold charms the more you level it up. And this is going to be using the brand new empowered obelisk. I just need to go and buy some pouches really quick just so we can go and make these, buy a couple more spirit shards. So we're going to be doing a video on this anyway because I want to show you guys with 7-day bond like how good it can be. Anytime it's empowered, you're going to make your pouches a little bit slower, but you're going to get some more XP from it as well. So that's really nice. And also with this method, you do have a chance of saving secondaries, which with something like with jackalope antlers, you know, it can be very beneficial. Not that we've managed to save one there. So we've made a couple of pouches. I'm going to make a couple of scrolls just so we can have a bit of a play around with using the scrolls while we're using them for archaeology soil and all that sort of stuff here. However, in terms of this summoning method, I'm going to do a video on the Hogger account. Just because as well, I need to go and unlock this bank here because that will make summoning a lot easier, but you need to do kind of like a mini quest for it and I've not done it yet. So that will be something we'll do on the Hogger. Right. So we have done all of that. We've shown you guys how to go and hunt that, and we'll go and price check things like the antlers and then the pouches and stuff like that as well. Now we are at the Grand Exchange. Now expect quite high margins and quite sporadic prices on these items because I just think, again, they are very, very limited on how many are in this game. So we'll just go nice and quick for 100k. And see what this is going to come in at. So we've just bought those for 100k each. I do not think they will sell for that price because again, there you go. Massive, massive margin. And this is what I've talked to you guys multiple times about, low volume. So we've seen the price of the pouches again, but I'm just going to prove to you guys nice and quick what this is. So if we go and buy the pouch now, Jackalope pouch, if we put that on for 100k, just go and check. And what I would say as well, don't think that you'll get these kind of prices just because again, this is limited on what kind of people are going to buy them. But as you can see here, that is a massive margin. What I'll try and do is just put 1 or 2 in for, actually, let's just check the price for the scrolls real quick. So the scrolls currently selling for 1,000 coins each. So that means that for a pouch, it's going to be about 10,000, which isn't actually that bad. The scrolls will then go for 147. So as you can see here, massive margins on everything. But what I'm going to go and do is throw one of these in for a price of 55k, quite obviously below what we bought it for. But with that price, I'm hoping then that we'll have a chance of getting the price we want because the margin should be okay. But if you're going to do this for a method, I'm really just showcasing it more than anything. Don't expect to sell it for 100k because again, the people buying this are very limited on how many they want to buy. So the other purpose of this familiar as well is to actually use it for archaeology. So it's mentioned before that with archaeology, it can be a beast of burden which can store up to 30 archaeology soils. It stores received soils if it has space. It then also screens stored soil over time with a 33% chance to receive materials per soil. And then the scroll is going to increase your chance of finding soil by 10% while excavating for 1 minute up to a maximum of 5 minutes. Now these are only going to last 16 minutes. So again, I think these are going to be a very niche thing you might want to use for a low level account who's just starting to get into archaeology and wants to sort of bridge the gap between auto screener. But again, like archaeology soil box is going to hold 100 as well. So I don't know if this is a bit like redundant and not needed, but you know, we're always here to go and try these things out and see if these are going to be beneficial for you guys too. So I'm going to quickly go to the Alcarid spot, the Carid Et. This is actually a very in-demand spot at the minute because this is one of the spots where you can go and get the historical components. Historical components are still selling for a small fortune at the minute. So yeah, really interested to see how this is going to go. So we'll go and call the familiar. We'll go and use the scrolls on the familiar as well. This will have an auto fire rate of quite high. So we'll see what it's going to do as well. So yeah, I'm going to go and give it 5-10 minutes to go and do this. And then we'll look back and see where we currently are in terms of this as well. Now, it seems at the minute we have already got some gravel and it's already gone down to the jackalope. And the jackalope is going to just hold it and let's see if it's going to process. Yes, so it's already had 4 of the soil in. Let's just see if it will be able to process any soil by the time we've completed our first invote of items as well. But it seems to be using scrolls quite quickly. The scrolls, I don't think it's worth it because it's only going to give you an extra percent to get in soil. And I'm not sure if that's advisable. But I'm going to finish this invote. We'll see how much soil it's stored and see if it's processed any of it as well. Now, what I would say, the fact it automatically takes the gravel is very, very nice because when the antelope is full, that means it can come into your inventory, which means you can just go and fill your soil box. It's going to extend the duration of how long you're going to have your soil box for. And what I'm interested to see is when it finally screens some soil, is the materials going to stay in here and the storage space of a jackalope going to reduce because it's going to be full of materials. So let's just see where it's going to go from there. Now, what you could do when your jackalope is full of materials, you can withdraw this and go and deposit it in one of the archaeology spots. But yeah, just going to go and finish this info and see where we go in terms of this. Okay, so the jackalope has managed to screen the soil and turned it into materials. Now, we've managed to get some blood of Orcus and some third age iron. Now, the really nice thing is as well, is if the screen is unsuccessful, it just means it's making room in the jackalope as well. The fact we have had material and it's stored in the jackalope is nice. 30 space is a decent amount and can definitely be beneficial to it as well. So I do think that for a lower level, it can definitely be worthwhile having. It's a very beneficial thing as well to have that extra space when doing definitely lower level archaeology. But I think as soon as you've got the auto screener, this familiar won't really be as useful as what it could be in the lower levels. The lower levels, I definitely advise using it because it seems to have its purpose. Between this and the soil box, it just means you can go and spend more time doing archaeology, which is what you really want to do as well. But for the time being, if you want to go and try it out, the margin is very, very big in terms of a pouch. I'm going to leave these in, and what I'll do is when we sort of go back to one of the next videos we do in a week, we can go and check whether these have sold or not. But the problem is, I just don't think there's going to be that many people buying them as well. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I think for a hunter training method, it's very, very good. Obviously, whether you're going to make some money from it, I can't really tell because at the minute, the prices are so sporadic. The fact we've got a 95.5k margin for the antlers, you've got a 98k margin for the pouch as well. You can't really say if these are going to be massively profitable going forward, but I definitely think it's one to keep an eye on going forward. I'll let you guys know probably in a couple months whether this is worthwhile doing or not, but it's nice to see that they're focusing some familiars on new things. They're bringing new familiars into the game as well. But that is going to wrap up this video. A pretty decent low-level hunter method, really good XP and stuff. It's whether it's going to make money will be the big question in the next couple of weeks. In terms of the antelope, if you're someone who is a lower level archaeologist looking to get your way back up to the screen soil level, go and try this out because it might be beneficial as well. The extra 30 storage space is very nice, and the fact it automatically goes in is really nice as well. However, that's going to go and wrap this video up. Really hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Let me know of more things you want me to do in terms of Haven Hive. It's a massive update, and I'm just trying to get as much of it covered as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.